What's up, everybody? This is Jeff, the Burnout Shelter. This is my entry into Dots and Loops whacked vinyl tag / contest video for 2023. It's quite mad. 101 questions. If you do all 101, you get 10 entries into the contest. You can do 20 questions for 2 entries or 10 questions for 1 entry. The prizes are an original Seeds Future with the inserts and Black Sabbath's first album on that Pretty Green Warner label. I got 2 big tubs of vinyl here. Got my questions here, and I'm going to employ some CDs and cassettes and some 8-tracks to help it along. So Dan did his in under 19 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to beat that time. I'm going to try, but let's get busy. First question. A Todd Rundgren involved album. I'll go with the Nas. Good power pop psych on SGC. Let's see. Title with fewer than 5 letters. I'll go Ace, Bob Weir. Record from high school you still own. It's one of the very first CDs I bought. Back in probably 1990, Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit, and Other Hits. A record you were supposed to like but don't. I don't know, Dan might disqualify me for this, but I gotta say, man, Kingdom Come, Sir Lord Baltimore, white label promo, very nice copy. Not a big fan of this record, man. The vocals are kind of grating for some reason. You know, there's some good moments on it, but overall, I just, it's kind of unfocused. I've spun this 6 or 7 times. I really, really want to like this, but I don't know. I might end up purging this. I might hold on to it. I guess we'll just have to see. All right. A record you were not supposed to like, but do. I'll go Penguin, Fleetwood Mac. Not a real highly regarded album by this band. First side of this is, it's kind of, I don't know, mediocre, a little bit phoned in, but the second side kind of redeems it. Check out the track Revelation. Good Bob Welch track on this one. So that's that one. Third Degree of Kevin Bacon album. This is more like 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon. But Kevin Bacon was in a little movie called Animal House. That movie also starred John Belushi. John Belushi was in the Blues Brothers, and I have this Blues Brothers Briefcase Full of Blues album on 8-track. Next question is first soundtrack. Well, this probably isn't my first soundtrack, but one of the early ones I bought. I actually just recently acquired this on vinyl, Easy Rider soundtrack. But I bought this CD back in Okinawa, Japan, probably almost 30 years ago. So that's an early soundtrack. Good $5 record everyone should own. I'm gonna go Tarkio, Brewer and Shipley. One Took Over the Line, The Light. Really good cheapo record. Good one. Record that defines you 25 years ago. Listening to a lot of Frank Zappa. And this is pronounced leather. I know it's spelled lather, but this is actually pronounced leather. 3 discs. Loved Frank Zappa. I got into him right around this time and was spinning this pretty regularly back then. So, a record that rhymes with orange. I'm gonna go with Strange Days. I don't know. I tried. Hard to find record from a popular artist. Just As I Am, Bill Withers. Don't see this one out there too often. Most common record in your collection. Well, that's got to be Rumors, man. That's all over the place. And so the most common record in my collection as far as formats go, got it on cassette, 8-track, and CD. Two farthest records not in common in your collection. Well, that's probably going to be Julie London and Anti-Nowhere League. A record that makes you want to puke. Bob Mosley is self-titled. Don't get me wrong, this is a great record. Good hard rock record from 1972. I bought this in a collection from a guy on Craigslist, and a lot of the records were, the covers were water damaged, and this had pockets of mold on the cover, and I was thinking about just throwing this away completely, but I listened to the record and decided to just, cut out the pockets of mold and wipe it down with a disinfecting wipe, and I'd like a different cover of this, but this one kind of made me puke when I first bought it. A record that's a horrible pressing. Bark, Jefferson Airplane. This is the flimsiest record in my collection. Look at that. It plays fine, but I mean, that puts Dynaflex to shame. Very nice sounding record. I'm gonna go Thriller. Michael Jackson. Sounds great on my system. Best inner sleeve. I just picked up a mono original of this, and that inner sleeve was with it. Kind of a highly sought after inner sleeve, if for that album anyway. Cover you can't stand, but a record you love. I don't know, man. Pretty cheesy. Terry Reid. I actually don't mind this cover. It's fine. It's just a cheesy cover for such a good album, but love this record. A record that is too long but has some good songs. They go with 200 Motels soundtrack. A lot of orchestral noodling on this, but Mystery Roach, Magic Fingers, some good rock songs on this. A record to make you cry. Gotta go with Joni Mitchell Blue on that one. I own this record because someone said I should. A buddy of mine recommended I get this. Empty Glass, Pete Townsend. Pretty good record. Cheap. I think I paid $2 for that. A record that sounds totally different than you thought it would. Blood, Sweat, and Tears First. Sounds nothing like their subsequent records. This is my favorite Blood, Sweat, and Tears, by the way. Great album. An overrated record. I'm gonna go Pet Sounds. Overrated. Underrated record. Time and Place, Lee Moses. Man, this should have been a soul classic. Everyone should own that. A record you have no idea why you own it because you've never listened to it. I don't know. I'm going to go with this Freddie Fender, Rockin' Country. Have not gotten around to listening to that one for some reason. A record that makes you levitate. I'm going to go Gary Higgins, Red Hash. Fantastic acid folk. It'll get you high. Record that looks cool or makes you feel cool. I'm going to go Backdoor Men, Shadows at Night. I mean, there's nothing cooler than that haircut right there, buddy. That's good. Good shit. An instructional record. Lead the Field. Earl Nightingale, 4 CDs. Comes in this kind of DVD looking pack, but it's 4 CDs. A record that heals. How about Head Over Heels on that red Capitol label? A record with bad graphic design. Go Mountain, Flowers of Evil. Kind of all over the place with their design here. This record cover doesn't kind of know what it wants to be. It's a little schizophrenic, as it were. A record that changed over time for you. I'm gonna go Exile on Main Street. At first, this was kind of just, okay, Stones stuff, kind of background stuff. But the more I listened to this record, I just, I couldn't get over how genius it is. And it's one of my probably top 10 Desert Island records at this point. Fantastic record. Kurt Cobain ruined it. 80s fun. I'm gonna go Big Country. I love this album, man. Good album all the way through. It's got In a Big Country on it, The Crossing. Fantastic. A record made me high. I'm gonna go metal. Pink Floyd. Pillow Winds Echoes. That'll get you buzzed. A surprising dance record. Parallel Lines, Blondie. Heart of Glass. Some coked up disco gold. A maddening record. How about Mad Dogs and Englishmen? Joe Cocker. A scary record. Unintentional or Not. Search Party. Spooky, religious folk psych. A short record. Just picked this one up from Noble Records. Blueberry Pancake, or Fresh Blueberry Pancake, Heavy, from 1971. Private press. Originals, they only pressed about 54 of these. They've gone for upwards of 10 grand, between 7 and 10 grand. Some good hard and heavy from the 70s. But this comes in at under like 33 minutes, I think. There's about 1.5 inches of dead wax on either side. But yeah, cool record. All right. Next up, a mixed race record. Love, Da Capo, 1966. Your most eclectic record. This is an eclectic one. Nonagon Infinity by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Record with no guitar. Jean-Michel Jarre, Oxygen. Your record with the most organ. I don't know if this is the one with the most, but it's got a shitload. That Hammond B3 is fantastic on this. Jimmy Smith, Bucket, on Blue Note. Your record with the best 80s rock ballad. Foreigner, Agent Provocateur, from 1984. I Want to Know What Love Is. Best Blind Buy. I'm going to go Truck Tracks. Stoner Psych Gold. A Turtle record, Slow Jams. Leon Bridges, Coming Home. A record you still really want to like but are not too sure. Farewell Aldebaran on Zappa's Straight label. This is pretty good. I think I need to give it a few more spins. It does get a little better with every spin, so I just feel I gotta kind of absorb this one a little bit more. Best guilty pleasure vinyl? I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta have faith. And the Shrink hype sticker. Hidden Funk. From Turkey, no less. Mustafa Özkent. Some good psychedelic funk jams on that one. Jazz That No One Knows That Slays. Well, I'm sure a lot of people probably know this, but this is kind of a lesser known Stan Getz record, Dynasty from 1971. Pretty cool live set. Barry White Saved My Life. I don't have any Barry White in any format, but I do have a Barry in Barry Gibb and White in Jack and Meg White, White Stripes. Barry White Saved My Life. The 90s. Let's go Jeff Buckley Grace. That's a great record. This bit. Look at this here. A record and a concert and memorabilia. How about Black Mountain? Saw them back in 2015. And I don't have any memorabilia, but I do have the ticket stub. Empty Bottle. Great venue to see a concert. A record that flopped. I'm gonna go Begin by the Millennium. Notoriously just really expensive to record and produce this album, and it really didn't sell very big when it came out, but it's a good album. An independent record. Finchley Boys, Private Press, original. Illinois Psych. Good bluesy psych rock, man. Good one. A soul classic. Spirit in the Dark, Aretha Franklin. The Queen. 50s. Oh, grab two here. Howlin' Wolf, Moaning in the Moonlight. Glam Me. Glam. Slade by Slade. This is kind of gritty glam rock, little sleazy, little scuzzy, but I think it's glam rock. A worldwide album, or world influenced album. William Onyeabor, Nigerian genius. A played out record. Hotel California. Still a good record. A little played out. Come Fly With Me. Shows some Sinatra. Only the Lonely. Lost British Invasion. We'll go Pretty Things, self-titled. Get Kinky. How about Kinda Kinks? Original mono on the Tricolor Steamboat. Lady Rockers. We'll go Patti Smith on that one. Horses. 1975. A record Risk, They Changed Direction. I'm gonna go 1971's Future Games by Fleetwood Mac. This is kind of a different direction. They were kind of a bluesy rock band up until this time. This is more lush, starting to get those pop sensibilities that you'd hear on later records on this record, but I really like this one, man. It's a good one. All right, moving along. Progressive Symphonic Pleasure. don't know. Deep Purple, self-titled from 1969. Electronic Dreams. United States of America. The Beatles and Why. How about Mono and Stereo Revolver? Why? I don't know. Why not? Rockabilly Meltdown. Los Angeles. Some good rockabilly influenced punk on that one. A heavy record, The Wax. 180 grams wax. That's some pretty good heavy psych on that album as well. CAC, self-titled. Greatest Splatter Vinyl. Gumboot Soup, King Gizzard. Some splatter vinyl for you. You Got Ripped Off. Frantic. I like this record. I like it a lot. The vinyl is in pretty questionable shape. Guy wouldn't come down as much as I wanted him to. I ended up popping for it. It does play through, but I still feel I kind of overpaid for this on Lizard. But that's all right. It happens. Musty, crusty record you can't throw out. I'm going to go Takes Off, Jefferson Airplane. See, it's kind of moldy, musty, crusty, but it is an original mono. I might upgrade this at some point, but right now, this ain't going anywhere. Speak and Spell, lots of talking parts. Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, Small Faces. Second side, there's a lot of spoken word on that one. Bad Production Album. Great album, but Bowie's mix is a little anemic. How do they do that? Amazing playing. I'll go with this year's model. The Attractions never rocked harder than they did on this album, man. Fantastic. Up to 76 right now. I Don't Get It record. Trout Mask Replica. Now there's some good kind of funny moments on this album. Musically, I'm still trying to get this. I put this on like once a year. I do enjoy it a little bit each time, but I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what they were doing here, but I'll keep trying. Free Jazz Me. I'm gonna go Coltrane. Live at the Vanguard again. Pharoah Sanders. They get kind of whacked out on this one, man. Little jarring in spots. We'll just say that. Classic album that doesn't get played enough. I'll go Muswell Hillbillies by the Kinks. On Pickwick. Why this band only made one good album? I'm gonna go 1997's Marcy Playground. This is a fantastic record, man. And they didn't do anything really much after this. I think they put out one or two after this, but yeah, they didn't match this one. Tragic Story album. I'm gonna go Pink Moon. Nick Drake, fantastic record. I guess he just dropped off the tapes at the record studio, and shortly after, a couple of years, he died of an overdose, I think. It's questionable whether it was suicide or not, but very tragic story of a, just an insanely talented guy. Nick Drake. I'm sorry, album. Your partner loves it. You do not. Let's say 500 Days of Summer. An ex left this behind after we broke up. I've never even listened to it. So there you go. People Are Wrong album. Tell us why the critics blew it. Well, the critics hated Black Sabbath. Why did they hate Black Sabbath? I don't know. Most critics back then were hippies, and I don't know. Black Sabbath probably scared the shit out of them, so they had to, give them bad reviews. I don't know. Let's see. The go-to of all go-to albums. I kind of agreed with Dan that first Captain Beyond. It's definitely a go-to of mine, but I didn't want to match his. So this one lately has been a big go-to for me. Bulbous Creation. You Won't Remember Dying. Fantastic stoner psych. They ripped off another band album. Great record, Bee Gees first, but some of this sounds like the Beatles, and they do it very convincingly. So, not that they were trying to rip them off or anything, but there's definitely some heavy Beatles influence on that. A Memory Record brings back the old emotions. I'm gonna go back to the childhood with that one. Kenny Rogers' Greatest Hits. On heavy rotation in my house when I was a kid. Condition is crap. Who cares? A little bit of a roached copy of Master of Reality. But that's all right. Sabbath. Disco Delight. Bee Gees' Main Course, 1975. All right. The Heaviest and the Hardest. Volume 4. Sabbath from 72. I Blush album, Erotic City. About Serge Gainsbourg. History de Melody Nelson. Iconic and influential album. How about Elvis's First on 8-track in the slipcase? Get Smart album. They did something else in life like an invention. I think Bruce Dickinson was I think that dude had a pretty high IQ. I don't know what else he did though. Let's see. Workmanlike album. Steady Eddies. The Allman Brothers. I'm Clever. Best lyrics. I'd go freewheeling Bob Dylan on that one. How the hell did a 22-year-old write an album like that? Harmonies. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And Sometimes Young. Tries Too Hard album. Curfew. Let There Be Dark, and There Was Dark. This was kind of a little late to the party. There's kind of a garage feel on this. I think this came out in 1970, and it just sounds like they were just trying too hard with a genre that was kind of, passé at this point. Standout. Album not great, but one killer performance. I'm going to go Arc of a Diver. Steve Winwood. Arc of a Diver is just one of the most masterful pop songs ever. Rest of the album sounds a little dated. Brave New Waves, Courageous album. Bitches Brew, Miles Davis, venturing into rock territory. And I have not beaten Dan's time. We're already a half hour in. Let's see. Color Me Gone, finished contract and mailed it in. You got to go Love Beach on that one. I think they admit that this was just, you know, they had to be trolling the record company with this. This is kind of like to get out of, this is like the final album in their contract. And, you know, I don't know, the content within this is about as ridiculous as this album cover, but what are you going to do? Time to Die. Dead during or just after recording. LA Woman, The Doors. Came out in 71. Morrison died in July of that year. Sold My Soul to the Devil. And Fastest Fly and Die or Sellout album. Whoa. What did I miss here? I missed Workout album, did I? Alright, whatever. Let's see. Sold My Soul to the Devil. Sellout album. I don't know. The Black Album by Metallica. Kind of took a different direction there. A little bit more commercial sounding. The last record you would sell in your collection. Kind of Blue. Miles Davis. Original. 6i stereo. I think I missed a question here. Let me take a quick look. Well, anyway, I think there was a question about what's your workout record? I think I missed that one. Metallica, Master of Puppets. I think that's 101. So I'm down for 10 entries. I want those records. Dan, good seeing you again, brother. We'll see you again.